to next one. Okay, for this one, given that M6, okay, this is a midpoint. Okay, M is a midpoint of the point P and R. I do not know what is R, but I will write down everything. P is 4, 8, and R is X and Y because I do not know. And midpoint is 6, 4. Normally I will write the midpoint last because I know I want to use the midpoint formula to find R. And then find the equation of the straight line. We are passing through the point R and perpendicular to the straight line PR. So basically you have something like this. Let's say I call this one P, this one R, and then you will have a line which will be passing through the coordinate R, and then they will perpendicular to the line PR, and then you need to find this equation. Okay, so this is your objective now. So I say many times, in order to find equation, you need to have two information. First, you need to have gradient. Second, you need to have one coordinate. Alright, so in this case, the straight line actually passing through the point R here, so I will need to find R first. So I know PR, M actually is the midpoint of PR, so I will do something like this. So midpoint formula is x plus 4 over 2. And then, comma, this one will be y plus 8 over 2, I will equals to 6, 4. Alright, this is the midpoint formula. If you're smart enough, you can straight away say this one equals to 6. And then, this one will equals to 4. Alright, so yeah, I will need to do this one also. X plus 4 over 2 equals to 6. X will equal to 12 minus is 8. Alright, this one, y plus 8 over 2 equals to 4. So y will equals to 8, 0. So therefore, I know my coordinate of R is 8, 0. Now, I have one point already because this equation, I had coordinate R which is 8, 0. But then I do not have the gradient. So I will need to find the gradient. No, I do not have the gradient. Why I tick on the gradient? I mean I have coordinate already. So I need to find the gradient. So I know it will be perpendicular to PR. So I will find the gradient for PR first. So gradient for PR, gradient is y minus y over x minus x. So which is negative 2. So I will do m1 multiple m2 equals to negative 1 because the question says it is perpendicular. So what I will do is, one of the gradient is negative 2, substitute into m2, I will get negative 1. So my m2 basically is 1 over 2. Now I have my gradient. Okay, so if I have both already, I can substitute into this formula, y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1 to form the equation. Alright, so I will substitute in to form the equation at the bottom. I mean, yeah, over here. So y, my r coordinate is 8, 0. So y minus 0 equals to 1 over 2 x minus 8. So y will equals to half x minus 4. Alright, so this is how we do, because I know for the line just now, which is the red color line, this line, they will passing through the coordinate r, which is 8, 0. And then because they are perpendicular, and this line will have the gradient of 1 over 2. Okay, so I just substitute everything. Gradient is 1 over 2. My x value is a, and my y value is 0. Then I solve this one, then I can get the equation. Alright, because the question basically asks you to find the equation of the straight line we're passing through the point R and perpendicular to the line PR. This is what happened. So if you can visualize this one, then it shouldn't be too hard for you. Okay, yeah, we will break for 1 minute because I will need to drink a water. So then we will continue 15. Yeah, so far you have anything you want to ask me? Am I going too fast? Yeah, because 2 hours you want, I will need to cover 25 questions. If I do it myself, of course I can do very fast, but I will need to explain, so it will take me a lot of time. So maybe I will finish at 2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah, depend the progress. Yes. Okay, so if no problem, then we will move on to 15. Okay, this one, 15, just 2-mark question. So basically you will need to see it because there's no way you can calculate QR, I mean OQ. But I want you to see something like this. In order to find OQ, right? So I will go this direction or this direction, it doesn't matter. So what I will do is I will duplicate the line. Let's say this line is like this, right? So I make this one 1, 2, 3. Okay. So over here, like this one, from here to here, basically equals to 1p. So when I make it triple, so this one I have another p here, I have another p here. So basically I will have 3p. I hope you can actually see it. Okay, if you, oops, my god, I cannot use eraser. Yeah, I will need to use this one to erase this one. Okay. Yeah, why we need triple? Because I will need to draw a line from O to Q and must follow back the same length here. I mean must be parallel. So I will need to draw another line. I will change color to green maybe. Okay. Then I will move it around. Okay. Yeah, I want you to see that. And this line actually is parallel to OR. Do you find out? And then if I substitute into OR here, actually it's double of it. You can see that OR is from here to here. We call it 1R. So from O to this point, basically is 2R. So I know basically this line is 2R. Okay? So, yes. So I will say this line, it will be 2R. Okay, then for this one, you can find out actually they are parallel. Do you find out actually they are parallel? Yes, if they are parallel, if from here to here is 1p, here will be 2p, here will be 3p. So the whole line for this one, if I substitute in, I will actually get 3p. So therefore, I can call this one is 3p. So erase this one, erase this one. So I will say this one will basically, why is green color, 3p. Okay, so therefore I know OQ equals to 3p plus 2R. That's all. It will equals to OQ will equals to 3p plus 2R. That's why only 1 mark, because you will need to actually see it. Why draw? Yeah, because if you do not want to draw, let me remove this one. And I remove this one. Yeah, it's quite hard for you to actually solve this 1 mark question. Let's say I do not want to draw, so I erase all this. Yes, so now you will basically need to find what is OQ. How you going to find? Okay, this is the reason why I draw it myself. But my line not necessarily must be like that. Because of what? Because actually I can move this line. I can move the OR over here, which I make them parallel. Okay, this is my OR. And then I will move my OP, which is the extend version, like this. Then I can get OQ also, because I know this is 2R, 3P. So OQ can also equals to 2R plus 3P. But something important is, you must get the idea. If like this one, 2 square box here cut into half, we call 1P. This one you have 1P, 2P, and 3P. Alright, you must able to understand this one, then you can easily find OQ, because it's just the 1 mark. Alright, and then for the second part, he says yeah, each square box is basically is 1 unit. Okay, that means the second part it asks you to find the magnitudes of the OQ. So I will ignore about my drawing. So I will calculate this one. I will draw a perpendicular. I will draw a right triangle for it. So for OQ, obviously here is 2 units, 1, 2, and then here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is 7. So what I will do is equals to square root of 2 square plus 7 square. Then you will get square root 53. So this one is magnitude of OQ. So of course, when you see magnitude of OQ, you have to understand the magnitude basically means the question asks you to find length of OQ. Okay, so you just imagine if you have the straight line, how are you going to find the length? Definitely you will do the Pythagoras, right? Because the Pythagoras tell you a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. This is what happens when we will need to find the magnitudes. Okay, magnitude basically means the length. Alright, so I'm going to move on to number 16. Okay, this question, yeah, first you have to understand parallel. So if I see the word parallel, so what I will do is, if you say A is parallel to B, I will say A is lambda to B, because parallel basically means lambda, isn't it? Why cannot use the answer in A? Oh, you mean the last question? Let me see. Yeah, because the answer of A is not represented by the length. Because for example, this is P, isn't it? P itself, you can find out actually is 2, 1. So this P itself, the length for P basically you will get something like 2 squared plus 1 squared, which is square root 5. So P is not represented by 1. So in this case, you cannot use something P plus something Q. In this case, you cannot do something like this is 3 squared plus 2 squared. Then you will find the modulus of OQ. In this case, if you do like this, you will got wrong, because the question actually says, yeah, the grease of the equal square with the side is of 1 unit. Because if of this one is 1 unit, because the length of this one doesn't represent, and there's no connection for the length of OQ. So in this case, you cannot use the answer in the part A to find the magnitudes of OQ. Because OQ is not the straight, OQ is the straight line. But because, how to say, okay, because let's say in some example, if we say AB equals to 2, 3, we actually understand the length of AB, I mean A to B, will equals to 2, 2 and 3. That's why we can do the magnitude of AB will equals to square root of 2 square plus 3 square. But in this case, OQ is not equals to, they are not saying OQ will equals to something like 27. If OQ equals to 27, then you can straight away solve using this one. But then they want OQ in terms of P and R. I mean, the P and R is not related to the length itself. So I mean the 3P and 2R, it doesn't relate to the length of OQ. This is the reason why you cannot use the answer to actually solve it. I'm not sure, can you understand me? But if you can't, maybe you can ask me after this. Yeah, they are not related. They are not related. That's why we cannot use. Okay? And the question already says this is one unit here and 1 unit here. So therefore, we can straight away form the Pythagoras by ourselves. Okay? I hope I do understand you. I mean, I do answer you. Okay, yeah, let's come back to question 16. Okay, so for this one, yes, it's parallel, yeah, so I will need to substitute in, because I will need to find h. So it's 1, 3 equals to lambda 2h plus 1. So therefore, I will need to find a lambda first. So I will compare the top one first. So 1 equals to lambda multiple 2. So basically lambda equals to 1 over 2. So therefore, I can find the h by forming the second equation. 3 equals to 1 over 2, which is lambda, h plus 1. So 6 equals to h plus 1, h equals to 5. Alright, so this is how we solve this question. And the lambda, I will put the lambda here just because it's parallel. Okay, then we will move on to the unit vector. So they want used to find a unit vector of b, so I will do the b again. B basically equals to 2, 5 plus 1, which is 6. So I will need to find a unit vector. So unit vector of b basically equals to magnitude, which is 1 over 2 square plus 6 square, and then square root it, and then 2, 6. So this one is 1 over square root 40 and 2, 6. Yeah. This one should be your unit vector. Unit vector is quite simple. Mean 1 over magnitude multiple the vector. This is how we do the unit vector. But put the symbol only can find the answer. You are saying question 15 or question 16? I mean for yup. Yes. Oh, you mean the lambda? Yes. In order to solve the question, yeah, you will need to put a lambda, because whenever they are parallel or the question say they are collinear, we always do something like AB equals to lambda BC, isn't it? Yeah, the lambda symbol, lambda basically is just mean the ratio. But then in vector, we can actually use it to solve the collinear and parallel question. So in this case, I will substitute a lambda also. Okay? But, yeah, just substitute into it lah. I do not want to have so many but, because it's going to take a lot of time. Okay. I think this is one of the hot question also. Or you call it KBAT. Because the question is not so direct. So, okay. So, I will explain about this question. So, you see diagram 17. This is diagram 17. Will show a short pool field dimension for high school. For category A, student must throw 5 meters far from the field to get 1 point, and 7 meters far from the field to get 3 points. So I ask you to find the area for 1 point. Alright, this question, because in the whole diagram over here, I do not see any value, because I do not see any meter in the whole diagram. So in this case, I will just assume myself, and the category A, you can ignore it. Category A is actually over here, it doesn't help you at all. But okay, so I will assume, but at least I understand the meaning of center. So I assume this one is what they're trying to say is the center. I call it O. So let's say I call this one is let's say I call this one is basically is 5 meter. Yes, I call this one 5 meter. So that means here with 5 meters also. That means this is 5 meter. Okay. So in order to get one point, you throw the ball. You have to make sure your ball is thrown further than 1 meter. Okay, mean you have to throw maybe 6 meter or 7 meter in the range here. Alright. So the question say you will get 3 points if you throw far from the center, 7 meter far from the center. So I will do the 7 meter thing. Let's say I call from here to here is 7 meter. That means I will assume here is 7 meter. So that means if you throw your ball here, mean you must be further than 7 meter, then over here you will get 3 points. So if you throw the ball further than 5 meter, means in this area you will only get 1 point. Okay, this is what the question trying to say. 1 point do not have S. Then the question asks you to find the area of 1 point. That's mean the question asks you to find this area. So I hope you basically can see two sectors here. This is the bigger sector, And then the bottom one, this is a smaller sector. Okay, so smaller sector, maybe I give them the green color one. Okay, so what I want to do is, in order to find the blue colored zone, I will use the bigger sector minus the smaller sector. That's all. And then the question gives you 65.5 degree, and you know inside here will be 65.5 also. It's the same idea. Alright, so what I will do now, I will use the bigger sector minus the smaller sector. Both of them will have the same angle, but different length. This is 5, this is 7. And because this is MF, I know my area equals to half r squared theta. I cannot let my angle into the form of degree, so I will need to change it into a radian. So change into a radian, I will need to multiply pi over 180. So I will do first step first, which is change into radian. 65.5 multiple pi over 180. So therefore I will get a value which is 1.143 radian. Okay, now my angle in radian ready, then I can start to do this one. So this is 1 over 2 r square, which is 7 square, radian 1.143 minus the smaller sector is 1 over 2 5 square minus 1.143. Yeah, then you just use your calculator. You should be able to get the final answer correct. But just let me do this one very quick. Multiple 49 multiple 1.143 minus 1 over 2 multiple 25 and then multiple 1.143. Yes, and then you will get the answer is 13.716. I hope I'm correct. Yes, this is the idea we want to actually get the blue color one. Must take how many decimal? I think minimum you take 2 and 3 should be okay. You don't need to take until 4 or 5 decimal. Okay, but I think 3 will be good lah for MF. Okay, so yes, I hope you can try to do this question again after the virtual class. Just make sure you understand this one. Okay, then I will come back to question 18. Question 18 is trigo question. So the first obtuse angle, tell me this one actually fall in the second quadrant, because obtuse angle means the angle is between 90 and 180. Okay, it's called obtuse angle. So first thing is I will draw the triangle, I mean the right triangle in the second quadrant, because the question tell me it's obtuse. Alright, and then I will call this one as my angle. And then sines, I know sines angle will equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so sine will equals to this one. So I know my opposite will equals to 1 minus h square. And my hypotenuse will equals to 1. Because of what? When it says sines angle to this one, right? So I know this one is 1 minus h square over 1. Correct or not? So this is the reason why I know my hypotenuse is 1. Okay, and then because of my hypotenuse is 1, I know this one is basically equals to h. Because of what? You want to get 1 minus h square square root, you just use Pythagoras of 1 minus this one, you can get this one. And of course you might not get the idea why I will get h, then you can solve it out by yourself. I say 1 square minus square root 1 minus h square, and then I square root it. And then I solve this one lah. This is 1 minus square and square root, I simplify. This is 1 minus h. And I square root it again, then I will get h. Okay, and then yes, why no negative? Because I just want to add a negative. This is y-axis, right? Before y-axis here should be negative. This is x-axis, right? Above x-axis, this one will be positive. Hypotenuse is always positive. Alright. Yeah. Thanks for remind. I mean for yup. Alright, so now I want to find cotangent. Cotangent is 1 over tangent. Okay. So 1 over tangent. Tangent is OA. So it will be square root of 1 minus h square over negative h. So therefore cotangent equal to negative h over square root 1 minus h square. Done. Alright, this is how we find cotangent. And for sine 2 theta, of course I hope you understand the formula for sine 2 theta. So sine 2 theta equals to 2 sine theta cos theta. This is just the formula. You can refer back to the formula list. So 2 sine theta we have already. Sine theta basically is square root 1 minus h square. Cos theta, what is cos? Cos is AH. Correct or not? A and H. So A is basically is negative H. H is 1. So this is negative H. So therefore my final answer will be negative 2h square root 1 minus h square. Alright, so this is how we actually get the sine 2 theta. Just substitute everything. So the most important thing, you must get the idea what is obtuse angle, and you must draw your triangle correctly. Then only it's possible you will get all the answer correct. And this one is just 3 mark. Yeah, a lot of things to do for this 3 mark. Yeah, so make sure you can understand this kind of question. But I think this trial paper is considered quite hard. It's compared to the SPM past year question. Okay, question 19. Okay, if you have the marking scheme, I would say the second part of this question, what? Yeah. Anyway, I think it's not this question, not this question. Yeah, later we'll see another question again. Yeah, this question basically is, yeah, they modify already. Yeah, because what? Because actually I actually buy this book for Popular, and yeah, and the question 19 actually I think it's not like this. Anyways, yeah, let's solve this question. Okay, you have this equation, and then you have something like this, and then the question asks you to find something like this. Okay, so first thing is, yeah, I will need to find. Okay, I will copy down the dy dx first, and then explain from there will be easier. Okay, this one will be 3, here hx. So in order to find, in order to find this 3hx, there's a reason why I want to separate them. So in order to find the integration of hx, so what I will do is, I will add the integration symbol for both sides. I will add the integration symbol from here and from here also. Okay, but then the question only want me to integrate hx, so I will not integrate 3hx. So what I will do is, because 3 is a constant value, so I know basically I can take the 3 out. So I will have the integration symbol like this. Alright, then the question do give me the limit from -2 to 1, so I add the limit to both sides. Okay, now you will have something important you will need to understand is, you will need to understand when you integrate dy dx, integration and d dx symbol you simplify, you left y. Okay, this is something very important concept for this kind of question. You integrate dy dx, you will get y. So if you integrate dA dx, you basically will get a. Okay, so therefore if I integrate dy dx over here, I solve it already. I have y and then 1 -2, and then definitely I have my y value. I will substitute in later. So this is 3 integrate -2 1 hx, and then when I move my 3 to the other side, I will get 1 over 3, and then I know my y. My y basically is 3x squared minus 4 over x 1 -2, and then which is integrate -2 1 hx. hx. So if you can solve this equation on the other side, you already got this the answer for this one, because the question asks you to find this one. This one is exactly same with this one. Alright, so yeah, I just need to solve over here. So I substitute 1 into here first. So 3 multiple 1 is 3 minus 4 over 1 minus this one will be -2 will be 4, so it will be 3 multiplied 4 will be 12 minus 4 over -2. So I need to solve this one definitely. So yeah, this is 1 over 3, Here will be negative 1. Negative 1 over 1 is negative 1. Here will be minus. This one will be 8. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. So that will be plus 4. So the final answer should be this one will be negative, this one positive 3. Final answer is 1. 3 over 1. 3 over 3. Can I ask for paper 2, solution of triangle? We need to take 3 decimal or 4 significant figures. Example. Yeah, I think take 3 decimal place will be good. Yeah. Because the more decimal place just means your answer will be more accurate. Okay, so I move on to question 20. I hope you can understand this one. This one might be something new for you, but you just need to understand this one. Integrate dy dx, you will get y, which is the y means you already integrate already. You no need to integrate anymore. Because a lot of students get y and then they will try to integrate y again. Don't do this. Okay? But my SAS Buddy revision book says use 4 significant figures, and the answer in the past year book is use 4 significant figures. Depend how big is the value. If you fix already 4 significant figures, you will face some problem. Is, let's say my answer is 12781.145. If I take 4 significant figures in this case, okay, this is something not relevant. I take 4 significant figures in this case. I will take 12780, and then I will ignore all the decimal place over here. So if you fix already, you want to take 4 significant figures. If the value go until extremely big, your value will be less accurate. But I'm not 100% sure about this one. Maybe you can check. You can go to the Ministry of Education website to actually find out what is the standard for SPM. But then normally when I do it myself, I will take 3 decimal place. Okay, I hope I do answer your question. Okay, so let's move on to the question 20. Okay, whenever you see minimum, in MF, I think there's only 2 ways you can do maximum or minimum. First way is you using the completing the square. Second way is you make dy dx equals to 0. Okay, so in this case, definitely I will do the second way, because this one, it doesn't seem like they are asking me to do the completed square. But of course you can still use the completed square to do, but then I will prefer dy dx because it's faster. So dy dx will equal to 0 in order to find the minimum values of x. So therefore my 6x minus 4 equals to 0. X equals to 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. Then I'm done. And then the question asks you to find the minimum values of y. So basically you just substitute your minimum value of x into your y equation. That's all. This is 2 over 3 square minus 4, 2 over 3 plus 5. So this one will be 3 multiple 4 over 9 minus 8 over 3 plus 5. Yeah, you can use a calculator to solve this one. Okay, but I just do manually lah. 8 over 3, this one becomes 15 over 3. So yeah, 15 minus 8, I got 7. 7 plus this one, I got 11 over 3. Okay, so if got the word minimum and maximum, you need to dy dx. Yes, correct. When you see minimum and maximum, always do the dy dx. But over here, I just explain further. Well, some students actually ask me when actually you want to use d2y dx square. The purpose you will differentiate second time, or you call it second derivative, is just to determine whether the point is maximum or minimum. You differentiate second time is just determine whether it's maximum or minimum. So if you differentiate second time, the value is bigger than 0, you can show that the point is minimum point. It's less than 0, you can show that the point actually is maximum point. This is the purpose you differentiate second time. Okay, if maximum equals 0, maximum or minimum also equals to 0. If you differentiate, no matter it's maximum, dy dx is equal to 0. Minimum, dy dx is equal to 0 as well. So both also equals to 0. Okay, you want to determine is maximum or minimum, then you will need to differentiate second time. But in this case, the question already tell you it's minimum, so you do not need to differentiate second time. Why the question B no need to use dy dx? Because the question B, they ask you to find the minimum values of y, means when you already dy dx, you already know your minimum values of x is 2/3. That means you substitute your minimum value into the y equation, you can get the minimum value of y as well. So this one is this is minimum value of y. So that means if the minimum values of x is 1, you just substitute the 1 into your equation of y, then you can get the minimum value of y. That means if you substitute the minimum values of x into your y equation, definitely you will get the minimum value of y. Okay, this is how we solve the minimum values of y. I hope I do answer you. Okay, let's move on. What's the time now? Yeah, we still have 15 minutes. Yeah, 5 more questions to go. Okay. Yeah, let's have a look on this question. Oh yeah, just now what I want to say about this question. Because this question I checked the marking scheme. I think the marking scheme got wrong for the answer in this part. But I will explain this one. Okay. So first, this is the information. You're not going to do anything about this information, but you will need to do something. You will need to substitute this information into here later. So, okay, first thing is, the question asks you to find the value of k. You have to assume the k is a constant value. If k is not the constant value, then you cannot solve. So we have to assume k is a constant value. So I will take out the k, and then I will left 1, 3. This is x dx. And then definitely 2 is a constant value. I will take out the 2. But then I will have some issue over here, which is this one is from 1 to 3. But then this one is 3, 1. Do you see? They are not the same. Then I cannot substitute this one into here. So I would want to make them become the same. So what I will do is I will change this one to 1, 3. But when I change this one to 1, 3, if you know the formula, you have to add a negative into it. So I will add a negative into here, but then this is minus, so negative, negative, I will get positive. Okay, so this is what happened. This is 2. So then I will have hx dx equals to 18. Okay, this is some sort of formula lah. Maybe I write it here. So let's say AB fx, I say f lah, will equals to negative BA f. Okay, so if you change this one AB to BA, you just add a negative into it. Alright, so I hope I do make you understand this. Okay, then I will continue do. I factorize, I integrate x. I will get x squared over 2. X plus power plus 1 is x power 1, right? Power plus 1 divided by total power. Plus 1 you will get 2 divided by 2. Alright, then I have 3, 1. And this one is plus 2. The whole thing over here, the information tell me it equals to 5. So I say this one equals to 5. So I will get 18. Alright, so of course I will need to substitute the 3 into here, and then minus I substitute 1 into here. Substitute 3 into here, 3 squared is 9 over 2. Minus substitute 1 into here is 1 over 2. The 10 I will move to the other side is 18 minus 10. Alright, so this is 8 over 2, which is 4k, will equals to 8. So k will equals to 2. Alright, this is how we solve the question like this. Yeah, you make sure you understand this one, and make sure you know the constant value. You can always take it out like this. Then how to substitute the information into there. It's not so difficult if you understand this. Okay, let's move on to this one. I think this is statistic. Okay, sum of the square of number. Okay, so you have some information. The mean and standard deviation of the 5 number is 6 and 3. So first I know my mean is 6 and my standard deviation is 3. Standard deviation is equal to 3. And the number I have is 5. This is all the information I have. So whenever I see sum of square of the number, I know the question trying to find sum of x squared. Okay, because x is all the number. So sum of square of the number mean the question want to find sum of x squared. And sum of x squared only happens in the formula of variance and standard deviation. So you do not have much choice. So it's only in the variance and standard deviation. So it's only over here, but over here I have standard deviation. So I substitute into my standard deviation formula, which is square root of sum of x squared over n minus mean square. So it equals to 3. Because my standard deviation equal to 3. This standard deviation equal to 3. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna move the square root to the other side, become 9 lah. Alright, so my sum of x squared is unknown, my n is 5, and my mean is 6. So 6 squared is 36. So I will need to solve this one. So which is sum of x squared equals to 9 plus 36 and then multiple with 5. Alright, this is how we solve this kind of question. So 45 times 5, you'll get 225. It's not mistaken. Alright, then I will do B. Okay, B is something very crucial. Okay, the new values of variance if every number is multiple 2 and then 3 is added. Okay, for variance and standard deviation, you can ignore you can ignore the number that added. You just focus on multiple. Okay, this is what happens for variance and standard deviation. But variance is slightly different. The number you multiply, right? This is variance. The number you multiply, right? You have to square it, because the new variant basically equals to k squared multiple the old variant. Okay, k basically is the number that multiple. So in this case, of course, I will need to find my variance first. The variance basically, my standard deviation is 3, variance is 3 square. I mean I square the standard deviation, which is 9. Alright, so in this case, I want to find my new variant. New variant will basically equals to, this is 2, right? So I need to square this number and then multiple my old variant, which is 9. So you get the answer is 36. Just ignore the number you added or you minus, unless this number is extremely big. Yeah, if this number is very small, you can just ignore. What do I mean by extremely big? Unless you get the value is like 900 million. Yeah, it's extremely big value. Then he will influence the new value a little bit. Just a little bit. So, but I think in all the SPM case, you can just ignore the values you add or you minus. Alright. I hope I do explain to you. Okay, so I move on to this one. Permutation. Okay. In this case, he say he want to display 5 cases with a different path as shown in the diagram 23. So yeah, cat I will call it C, duck I will call it D, and dog is D also. Okay, never mind. I will read the question first. Okay, Inject Lee have the pet shop. He want to display 5 cases with a different pet as shown in the diagram. Cat and dog cannot be side by side. Okay, for those it cannot be side by side one, what I will do is I will call it small letter C and small letter D. Okay, and those who can, this one is a capital capital D, capital C, and this is rabbit, capital R. Okay, so there's few ways you can solve this kind of question. Okay, so I will teach you some easiest one first. So if you say cat and dog cannot be side by side, so I will assume this is D, this is C, this is R. So cat and dog must be somewhere on the between here, because they cannot be side by side one. So I will assume they will be somewhere between here to fill in the C or D. Mean it can be C here and D here, or C in any other place or D in any other place. So what I will see over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 places for me to fill in cat and dog. Cat and dog is 2, right? So what I will do is, this one I will call it 4P2. Okay, and for the D, C, and R, capitals D, C, and R, they can still switch place among themselves, isn't it? That means C can be here, D can be here, R can be here. So Now you have 3 animals here. So this one, I will call it multiple with 3 factorial. Then you just use the calculator. 4P2 multiple with 3 factorial, you will get the answer, which is 72. Why to use the P? Why or when need to use the P or C? Okay, whenever you use P is when the arrangement is very important. So in this case, I will use P because what? Because they're trying to arrange they're trying to displace the 5 case what. So means they're trying to arrange the 5 of this case. So I will need to use P. Okay, if you find out the P case or C case is very confusing for you, I can teach you another method. So if the question says they cannot be side by side, that I will assume that they are side. I will use something. I will do something like this. I will use total to minus their side by side. So if I use the total to minus their side by side, basically I will get the answer they are not side by side. Okay, this is some logic about the permutation and combination chapter. So the total is very easy, just 5 factorial, because I want to arrange the 5 animal, just 5 factorial. Okay, so if I group them side by side, I will group C and D together, and then I have capital D, capital C, and capital R. You see I have how many objects? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 objects here, I can randomly arrange them. I call 4 factorial. But then the C and D, they can switch place among themselves, isn't it? So here got another 2 factorial. So I multiple 2 factorial. So this is how they are side by side, right? So I use 5 factorial minus their side by side. I will get the same answer, 72 also. Okay, you can use, depend which method is easier for you to understand. Both also will give you the same answer. Right? And if you ask me when to use P and C, yeah, I can say like this, but then it's not all the time. Of course, I know in order to use permutation, you refer the reference book, they will tell you arrangement matter. Arrangement matter a lot lah. Mean the arrangement is very important, you will use P. This one, the arrangement is not so important. Then does not matter. Then you will use C. Okay, but then I will give you some example. What do we mean by arrangement is important? So for example, you just assume you have an iPhone, and your iPhone you set the password 1234. Okay, this is the password you want to enter your iPhone. So now, if I key in the password 1243, can I actually access your iPhone? Cannot, because 1234 and 1243 is not the same. So no matter how many times I type 1243, I cannot access your iPhone. So in this case, arrangement is very important. So you have to use P. Okay, I give you another example like arrangement does not matter, mean not so important. Let's say I have 4 boys and 3 girls. Now I want to choose 2 boys and 1 girl. So no matter how I choose the 2 boys and 1 girl, how the 4 boys arrange, in this case it doesn't matter. So in this case, I will use C. So actually I conclude in some of my video, I do say whenever you see number or letter, because in SPM they love to ask you to form the number code or letter code, you can use P. So whenever you see the human or animal or any other event or subject or school or book, yeah, sometimes they ask you to arrange the mathematics book, physics book, and history books. Yeah, you can use C. But in this case basically is animal, but then you will need to use P because they are arranging something. So even they are human, so yeah, one of the past year question, they say you have 7 people, and now these 7 people they basically they want to these 7 people they want to take a photograph, and then they want to find how actually they can arrange in one row. So you see something like arrange in one row, you know arrangement is very important, then you can use P. Okay, I hope I do answer your question. Yeah, anything you want to ask before I move on? I see someone is typing. If in the index number, I get a composite index 24 with 4. I should take 3 decimal place also. I think index number you can take 2 decimal place, but I think 3 decimal place is correct also. I don't think examiner will mark you wrong if you take 3 decimal place. Yeah, so you can take 3 decimal place, but I'm not sure what index number is something related to percentage. So normally I will take 2 decimal place for index number. Okay, so yeah, question 24 is probability. Okay, probability is so important to understand where actually they choose their sample space. So number of sample space is so important in probability question. It's extremely important because this is how it determines whether you are correct or wrong. So in this case, he says a book is choose at a random from the rack P. So if you choose from the rack P, that means you choose from here. So this is rack P. So if you choose from the rack P, my sample space in this case will be 3 plus H, right? So it means the total book I have is 3 book plus H. If H is 10, total I have 13 book lah. This is the idea. Okay, so the probability of choosing the size will be 4 over 5. So my size book I have H over my total is 3 plus H, will equals to 4 over 5. Then you just solve this one, then you can easily get H. So that's why I say take the correct sample space. You can straight away make the whole question look so easy. Crossover multiple, 5H equals to 12 plus 4H. So H equals to 12 plus 4H. Yeah, H equals to 12. Done. Okay, so if you not believe, you can substitute the 12 back into the question. You get 12 over 3 plus 12, right, which is 15. So you get 4 over 5. Alright, show that my H value is correct. Oh, of course, this step is unnecessary in exam. I just show you. Alright, so for the second one, 2 book is chosen at a random among the mathematics books. So among the mathematics books, that means in this case my sample space is over here. So among my mathematics book, I have 8 book only. Okay, it's nothing to do with science book because in this case they only choose from mathematics books. So first thing, I know my number of sample for mathematics books, which is 8, which is 3 plus 5. Okay, so in this case, he asks you to find the probability that both books are from the same rack. So that means you choose from mathematics book. There's a possible you choose the both mathematics book is from a rack P and rack P, or rack Q and rack Q. Okay, this is the idea. They say they're from the same rack. So yeah, I will need to know my rack P. I have 3 books, right? So I need to find a probability I will get both from rack P, or the both are actually from the rack Q. Alright, so yes, I'm so sorry I make this one look like so messy. Let me just erase some of it. Okay, because I just hope it doesn't look so messy. Okay, then I will continue here. Okay, so if 2 book also I want to from the rack P, because rack P I have 3 book, isn't it? So what I will do is I will be 3 over 8. The second book will be 2 over 7. Because you imagine you already take the first mathematics book from the rack P, your rack P only left 2 more books. And the total you left over there will be 7. Okay, so plus for book in the rack Q, you have 5 mathematics book in the rack Q. So the first probability will be 5 over total, which is 5 over 8. You imagine you already take 1, so the second book will be 4 over 7. So you just plus them together. So this is 6 over 56 plus 20 over 56, which is 26 over 56. I divided by 2 is 13 over 28. Done. Okay, so for this kind of question, I would say B is considered hot question because first, a lot of students will got wrong when they take the sample space. They might take from the science also. If they get correct already, they might not get the idea what's the meaning for same rack. If you get the idea same rack correct also, you might get wrong when the second probability, because a lot of students will assume the second probability will remain the same with the first probability. If you get all 3 things correct, then you will get this question correct. Okay, Okay, I hope you do understand this. Then we go to the last question, which is question 25. Okay, it's a probability distribution. A is just 1 mark, it's very easy. The question tell you, is given that the region, the shaded region is 0.3494. Okay, for this one, you need to understand, I mean the half of the probability over here will be equal to 0.5. So that means the total here will be 0.5. That means what? That means over here will be 0.5 minus this value, isn't it? Minus 0.3494. You can't see the question. Maybe you can try to log in again if you cannot see the question. Okay, then the next thing you will need to understand what is the meaning for P bracket Z is bigger than K. So which area the question trying to say? So it's something like this. If this is my middle value and this is my K value, this is my K. So is Z must bigger than K, so it's bigger than K is this area. Okay, so you need to understand something before you're trying to get the 1 mark. Okay, so for this kind of question, so what I will do is, okay, I will say 0.5 means the total minus probability Z is bigger than K. I will get 0.3494. It's very makes sense. 0.5 is the whole thing. Z is bigger than K is a green color area. Then I will get the shaded region. So imagine the whole thing 0.5 minus the green color part. Then I can get the shaded area. So I just move this one to this side. Z is bigger than K. Then I will move this one is 0.5 minus 0.3494. Then basically I will get the value 0.5 minus 0.3494. I will get the value is 0.1506. Okay, this is how we solve this kind of question. Yeah, for the first one, no need to refer to the Z value table. Yeah, there's no need. I think A and B also no need. Yeah, because in this case, this one is unknown K. Oh no, because for this one, they only want to find probability Z is bigger than K. They are not finding the value of K. If the question asks you what is value of K, then you will need to refer to the Z value table. Okay, because we not yet find the value of K until the part B. Part B, you will need to know what is K. Then you will need to refer back to the table. Okay? Okay, we go to the second part. It says X is a continuous random variable with a normal distribution with a mean. It doesn't give you what's in mean. Okay, but then he gives you the standard deviation is 3.5. Okay, if the value of X is 56, the Z score is K. So find the values of the mean. So now he asks you, tell you Z score is K, but I do not know what is the values of K. So I will need to find the K. Then I will open my Z value table. So just remember this number in your mindset first. 0.1508. Okay, 1508. So I go into the Z value table, which is given at the beginning. Where's my Z value table? Okay, it's over here. Just now the value is 0.1506. I hope I'm correct. Okay, so I will need to take the Z value because I need to find the K. So I will need to find what is 0.1506. Okay, I will find here 0.15. Okay, it's between here. So I take this value. So in order to get 0.6, I will need to minus 9. What is my 9? 9 is here. Okay, so this one called, so how to read this one is called 1.0. This one is 3, so it's 1.03. The last one is 4. So it's 1.034. Okay, 1.034. Then I will go back to that question. Okay, come down again. Okay. Okay. K, what is a K again? K is 1.034. Why this one need to refer to the table? Yeah, because you want to find the K value. If I say Z is bigger than 0.3, no. If I say Z is bigger than K equals to 0.3, I want to find what is K value, then you will need to refer to the table. If not, you no need to refer to the table because you want to find the unknown K. Meaning, if you want to find the Z value, you always need to refer back to the table. Okay? Yeah, this one you can actually, if you still do not understand, you just go to refer to my probability distribution video. I have a few videos about probability distribution. Yeah, you can refer back to that. You can refer back that one. Okay? So now, it says Z value is K. So I know my formula for Z value is equal to X minus K divided by mean. Okay, my Z value is K, so I know my 1.034 equals to my X is 56 minus K. K basically minus K blah. What am I writing? Minus mean over standard deviation. So my mean is unknown, my standard deviation is 3.5. So I just need to solve this equation in order to get the final answer, because the question asks us to find the values of mean. Okay, the Z value formula is X minus mean over standard deviation. Alright, so I'm going to move the 3.5. So my mean, my negative mean, my 56 over mean equals to 3.5 multiple 1.034. So I will get 3.619. Alright, so my mean will equal to 56 minus this one, 56 minus answer. So I will get 52.381. I will take all the decimal in this kind of question. Alright, so yeah, I think that's all for today's virtual class. So anything you want to ask? Yeah, for the next virtual class, I think I will set at the same time, which is the next Saturday 2 to 4 p.m. as well. Yeah, just for any student who not sure about when to join. Yeah, about the question when you need to refer to the table. Yeah, this one you can refer back to my video. Actually, I do explain this one very clear in my video also. If you still cannot find a video, yeah, you can come to personal message me. Then I will actually share the link to of the video to you. Yes. Any more questions you want to ask before I close the virtual class? So when can you solve my question in the Facebook? I already sent the diagram for you. Actually in my Facebook there's so many questions each day. Yeah, so I will recommend you to send this question to the Facebook group. I hope there's some other student can help you to solve. Yeah, of course, if I have time, then I will actually have a look on it. Yeah, because I'm so busy. And then I still have the meeting after after this virtual class. Anyways, or you can share this one out. I hope the student here actually can help her out about the question. So what paper you will be on the next week? Next week I think I will discuss about paper 2 of this paper. I already shared this paper into the private group already. Yeah, you can download the paper over there, or you can go to online to actually check it out. You can join this group and post in there. Yeah, for Yup, maybe you can take down the link and then you can try to share the question over there. Maybe there's some people there who can help. So I'm not in the group yet. Yeah, you can just search y equals to mx+c bracket virtual class, and then you add it, and then yeah, you already donate the 20 ringgit, right? Yeah, I will add you in. Yeah, click. Okay. Yeah, anything you can just personal message me. I mean PM me in my Facebook page. Okay, anyways, thanks for joining this class. I will post the whole section again in the YouTube channel by tomorrow. So I hope, yeah, this virtual class do help you a bit. Yeah, anyways, see you guys soon. Bye bye.